Hello guys and welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration Guide. Hope you are doing great. Today, we will be discussing Canada's plan to let 500,000 immigrants in by the year 2025. Remember to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on the latest news about Canada immigration. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, the federal Liberal government has announced plans to significantly increase the number of immigrants who will be entering Canada, with a goal of seeing 500,000 people arrive each year by 2025 in order to address the country's critical labor shortage. While industry groups and others largely supported the plan, there are questions about whether it goes far enough and whether it is even achievable, given a large backlog of applications at Immigration and Citizenship in Canada. Fraser, the Immigration Minister, reviewed the new plan, which prioritizes letting in more permanent residents with needed work skills and experience over family members and refugees. Fraser told the Canadian press that there would be a massive increase in economic migration to Canada and that there would be a greater emphasis on economic migration planning than ever before. According to the new suggested plan, 465,000 people will enter the country from outside in the coming year, rising to 500,000 by 2025. In contrast, the Department of Immigration reports that 405,000 permanent residents were admitted last year. Most of those new arrivals will be economic immigrants, who will be expected to fill the roughly 1 million jobs currently unfilled in multiple sectors of the economy. Fraser added that, with 1 million jobs available in the Canadian economy at a time when migration accounted for nearly all labor, it is impossible to maximize Canada's economic potential if immigration is not welcomed. The minister also emphasized the long-term stakes as Canada's labor force ages, with fewer workers supporting those who have already retired and vital public services like schools and hospitals. While the influx may put additional strain on already scarce affordable housing in many parts of the country, Fraser believes the new workers may actually enable the construction of more accommodations by addressing a tradesperson shortage. He also stated that the new plan will ensure that immigrants can easily transition into local communities by directing them to areas that already have a capacity for newcomers and by increasing federal support and settlement services. While the majority of the planned increase in immigration over the next 3 years will be aimed at bolstering the economy, the new plan also calls for a slight rise in the number of family members admitted to Canada. It also forecasts a drop in overall refugee numbers from 76,000 in 2023 to less than 73,000 in 2025, which Fraser attributes to the government's scheme to finish resettling 40,000 Afghan refugees next year. He went on ahead to say that in the last 2 years, they resettled more than 1/3 of the total number of refugees settled globally, and that in the previous 3 years, we resettled more refugees than any other country in the world. Despite the decrease, a UN High Commissioner for Refugees representative praised the government's support for accepting hideaway seekers fleeing war and other threats. According to Rema James Imzais, UNHCR representative in Canada, the UN Refugee Agency welcomes Canada's continued dedication to refugee settlement as part of its overall immigration growth strategy, and that refugees require life-saving solutions such as resettlement while also contributing significantly to Canada's economy and the fabric of their communities. Now, the Canadian industry's reaction has been more mixed, with the Business Council of Canada arguing that the government's plan does not go far enough to address the country's unprecedented labor shortage. Goldie Hyder, Business Council CEO and President, stated that the Business Council supports the federal government's plan to increase the number of new permanent residents settling in Canada over the next 3 years. However, with employers across the country unable to fill nearly 1 million job openings, more aggressive targets for economic class admissions are needed to address ongoing skill and labor shortages. Conservative immigration critic Tom Kimmick welcomed the government's plan to significantly increase the number of new arrivals in Canada, but questioned whether the government could meet its own targets. Kimmick stated that the Immigration Department has 2.6 million applications on their desks waiting to be processed, while approximately 1.6 requests are for temporary residents. About 615,000 are for permanent residents. Kamik added that he simply does not believe they will be able to pull it off and that it is utterly unfair to people applying and hoping for a response within a reasonable time frame. Fraser defended the government's targets, saying he was confident that recent investments, a hiring spree in the department, and changes in how applications are processed would address the problem and ensure that people arrived on time. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know your view in the comment section below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with immigration news. See you in the next video. Bye.